Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Monday, January 6th, 2020. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. In every sector of life, sports and business, people like to take the follow the leader approach. They look at who's on top, try to copy what they're doing, and then cross their fingers and hope it works for them too. And if you were going to follow any one person's lead in bodybuilding right now, wouldn't it be Brandon Currie? The Olympia champ gave his fans a few insider trading tips on training back last week, just in time for all the New Year's resolution warriors who are trying to find that extra edge in 2020. Based on what I'm told, Brandon's sole focus this season will be on defending his Olympia title. So I'm sure we can expect to see more of a champ once we start getting into the heart of the contest season. Some folks are process goal-oriented people whose main motivation is trying to achieve mastery over the day-to-day stuff that leads to big results down the road. And as long as I've known him, George Peterson has always struck me as a process-oriented guy. Right now, George is neck deep in the process of trying to get himself ready for his 212 debut later this year, which comes with some huge expectations given the success he's already had in classic physique. Being able to grow into a division and a show is a luxury that George hasn't had up to this point in his career. But I think being able to compete at a more natural weight will be something that pays him huge dividends in the long run. I've always seen sports as one of the best tools we have for teaching valuable lessons to kids in ways that make it really easy for them to understand. And the fact that we are absolutely not all created equal is a perfect example of that. Take my old buddy Juan Morel, for example. Even in a sport full of genetically gifted talents like bodybuilding, Juan's metabolism is still in a class all by itself. Late last week, Juan posted an off-season update on his Instagram where he showed off an effortlessly shredded 280-pound body that's so far beyond what 99.9% of the people on this planet could pull off that it almost seems impossible. Even in cruise control, Juan is still one of the most impressive guys out there, and that only gets amplified when he decides to put his foot on the gas. And finally, now that we're ending week number 1 of the new decade, we have to wonder what the fate of 2018 Mr. Olympia Shawn Rhoden might be. It's a certainty that we won't see him at the Arnold Classic in March as originally promised, and more than likely his next big appearance will be in a courtroom in Utah, where he'll be looking to be exonerated by a jury of his peers. This trial will not only determine his guilt or innocence, it will ultimately determine whether or not we'll ever see Flexitron on a professional bodybuilding stage again. If Shawn is found not guilty and is reinstated back into the IFBB, and he winds up competing at this year's 2020 Mr. Olympia contest, that will add an element of excitement back into the sport that we haven't seen since he won the title, beating 7-time champ Phil Heath in the process. Best of luck, champ. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.